Oh, he's just here. Well, that's disappointing. I don't know what I was expecting, really. It's just, the fact that I had to go out of my way to collect the sulfur and then build the fire, and then he's just started walking. I was like, well, maybe he's going to go and do something really interesting and cool. But, I mean, to be fair, at least it puts us near the mushroom so I can see if it's grown again. So that does that at least. Welcome back. Welcome back. We're still playing the longing. We're still longing for something to happen. I do regret not just continuing mining out the house, honestly, as opposed to seeing whatever the hell the stinky fire was all about. I mean, maybe if we'd sat and watched him the whole time he was walking, he would have shown us something cool. It just seems like a very weird mechanic to put into the game if it doesn't, achieve anything. You know what I mean? I guess it's just this game in a nutshell, right? Not everything is progressing forwards. Sometimes things are just things that exist. Walking through the void for 10 minutes in order to find a decapitated horse head, it doesn't do anything, does it? It just sort of sits there and looks at me now. I guess I'm just sort of stuck with that now. That's just the way, unfortunately. Well, anyway, yeah, here we are again. Welcome back. Hooray. Good times. Exciting times. I really am hoping that my thoughts are correct and that I can grow that mushroom even larger and even larger and even larger until it gets to the point where I can climb up there, because I don't know what else I can really do from an exploration standpoint right now, aside from, as I say, just walk about and see if anything's changed, I suppose, which might be what a lot of this video ends up being. I might head back to the White Void as well, in case anything new has spawned in there. It has been a while at this point, in-game time, since I've checked. Well, in real life time as well. It's been a few weeks, right? So, yeah, there might be wonders to behold. Is this the right way? I think this is the right way, right? Or do I need to? Actually, I don't think this is the right way. I think we need to go more left first, right? Because it splits off down to the mushroom cave bit and up towards the first dead end, and then we go back on ourselves towards the where I was growing the mushroom. I remember all too clearly. Excessively clearly sometimes. My brain is firing on too many cylinders. I'm just like an enlightened being or something, I guess. Ho-hum. So anything happening? Anything happening right now out there? I'm just going to grab this green mushroom. I'm just going to grab this real quick. I think this might be useful. Yeah, not a great deal of video game news lately. I hear Dragon's Dogma's been having a bad time of it, which is upsetting. I still haven't picked that game up. I intend to, though. Yeah, it's not been running great on PC. I'm probably going to get the console version because of that reason. And also, microtransactions and stuff. Although, to be fair, I actually, you might be able to find it out there in the world of YouTube if you're particularly eager. I actually left a comment on a video that was smack talking Dragon's Dogma 2 and its decision to sell fast travel items as a microtransaction, which I do disagree with. I do, but it was framed in a way that it was and this is the way a lot of people are framing it, in that the game took fast travel out and then tried to sell it back to you, but it was always a game where fast travel wasn't meant to be a thing. The fuck is going on here? I made these two grow as well. That was accidental. I mean, I still don't see how this is helping me much. Oh, hang on. No, we can climb on this. I cannot believe that worked. Well, I can. Yeah, I can't believe this actually worked. Yeah, me too. Me too, pal. I can believe it worked just because I didn't see what else the mushrooms were for. considering we can only use them within this limited area. But yeah, no, this has actually paid off. That's pretty fucking cool. What wonders are to be held beyond? I'm actually pretty glad that we stinky fired our way up here then. That's actually worked out quite nicely. But yeah, getting back to the Dragon's Dogma thing, like, a lot of people are trying to claim that not being able to fast travel in Dragon's Dogma is just bad game design, and I don't agree with that at all. Like, I think there's plenty of space for games that aren't about that sort of snappy instant gratification and are more, about exploration and uncovering, like, your own routes to get to places more quickly, because there was a lot of that in Dragon's Dogma. Like, you could walk all the way around and take 25 minutes to get to anywhere, but there were always like little tunnels and things you could open and shortcuts and stuff. Like, it was very well interconnected like that. I mean, not quite to a Dark Souls degree, obviously, but it was a well-designed world. And as long as Dragon's Dogma 2 does the same, which obviously I don't know if it does because I haven't played it, but if it does, then I don't see the need for fast travel, which, as I say, obviously makes it a little bit gross that they are then selling fast travel items, but it's like, it is what it is. Like, I mean, I'm not going to buy them, I'm just going to enjoy the experience as it is. And I hate to defend microtransactions, I do, because I am fully against the whole concept, in all honesty. I say that, I'm fine with them in free-to-play games. Like, I've bought microtransactions in Paladins, because that was a game I played a lot and enjoyed, so fuck it, support them, But in general, if you're buying a game for £55, £60 or like $80, whatever the equivalent is in the States, I don't think they should be trying to nickel and dime you for other stuff on top. I do think that's gross, but at least generally speaking, Capcom's microtransactions are fully ignorable. They're just like, oh, if you want to buy more experience and cheese your way through the game, you can, I guess, but I mean, I don't want to do that anyway, so, whatever. I'm not going to pretend any massive video game corporation are like paragons of virtue or anything, but I do think Capcom are on the better end of the scale, in all honesty. They're nowhere near as egregious as, say, an Activision are, or Ubisoft. This place is so dark that I can't see anything without a light. Fuck. I should have picked up one of the glowing mushrooms, shouldn't I? Fuck it, we'll keep going, I guess. I can just about make out terrain. I don't know how well this is going to render in the finished video, but for me at least, there is just about a semblance of ground that I am still walking on there. Just about. I might just be imagining it, to be fair. It's entirely possible. I don't know if I meant to go back and get a glowing mushroom so I can see where I'm going. I don't know if this is like going to be one of those things where it like loops infinitely or something unless you have a light or some sort of wacky mechanic like that. Because I have been walking for a long time, to be fair. I've been walking for a very long time. But at that point it's like sunk cost fallacy, right? Like, it's like, I've been walking this. Maybe I should turn back, I'm starting to hear strange sounds. No, I believe in you, pal. I don't think we can game over in this game, so fuck it, let's see what happens. Oh, there is like an ambient sting happening right now. Things are feeling a little bit ominous suddenly. The camera's slowly zooming out as well, right? Am I crazy? Are his eyes smaller than they were before? I mean, there has to be something down here. I mean, I see that. I see the path divergence. I can feel my end nearing. You good, bro? Oh, it's a cliff. It's a cliff, that's what it is. I thought it was a path splitting downwards, but it's a cliff. I see it. Oh. Part of me really wants to click this, but part of me also doesn't want to have to restart this game and go through another 200 days. It's in a game with so few new things to discover. Finding something, even something this final, is so tempting. And the designers knew exactly what they were doing when they put this in as well. They knew that anyone finding this would be pretty deep into their game, probably not want to lose their progress, but at the same time, be so fucking curious. We can't, right? We can't click this. That's not how this ends. Off you go. We'll let him do this on his own. Okay. Okay. That's not what I was expecting to find. That's not what my fun new discovery was supposed to be, in all honesty. But that's exactly what it was. I may have to come back up here with the glowing mushroom. I don't know if that will change anything, but just being able to see a little bit clearer, there might have been some cool stuff along the way that we couldn't interact with because we couldn't see it, you know? Might be worth exploring this absurdly long passage. In fact, we don't need to bookmark the very tip. We'll bookmark here, though. Remember this. Remember your suicide point. Now get leaving. This game, man, this game. It knows how to elicit a reaction, it does. As I say, I have my gripes with it. I do. But, I see wherein its strengths lie. Let's put it that way. That was a fun 14 minutes of recording. Chatting shit about Dragon's Dogma and walking through the black to find that. So what else aside from this? What else is there left in this world to explore? We've established that we can't get mushrooms to travel beyond the cobweb, right? So what do we do with that information? Because I feel like there's plenty of places where having an extra little mushroom to jump up on would open stuff up. There have been places where there's been paths we can't reach and stuff, but yeah, I don't know. Is there anywhere else we can dig out with the mattock, I wonder? I mean, obviously under the house, which is going to be the sort of focal point of my digging in future. But I'm trying to remember if there's any other corners of the map where we had an option to use the mattock. I don't really remember specifically that being a thing, but who knows? Who knows, honestly? No? He's crawling. We're making progress at least. I think it might be worth at the end of this session, or the start of next one probably, in fact, because the end of this session is going to be like a week before the start of the next one, and my brain doesn't remember things, to look through his diary, because he has that little diary of like things he wants to achieve, right? And see if we can see if there's anything in there that is maybe doable. Anything we can make serious progress on. The tunnel's coming back into view. I can see the back wall. I can just about see the outline of the shade as well. So there's nothing of interest like up until the point where you crawl through, but after that it gets dark enough that there could be some secrets to behold. I'm not going to do that like today, or probably even in the next couple sessions, because this is it's a big walk to get here, never mind then walk along this tunnel as well. But at some point we'll explore this with a glowing mushroom and a little bit of visibility. I'm not crazy, right? The brown mushrooms do glow. I didn't just make that up. Now, in other gaming news, it does seem like the sequel to the Switch is fairly imminent, which is pretty exciting, I think. I don't know why I get excited about new consoles, because I'm such an old head, and I don't care about graphics. So it's like, honestly, I'd rather just have a bunch of cool new games come out on the consoles I already own, right? But, I don't know. Generally, a new console, particularly a new Nintendo console, tends to come with a strong launch lineup. So, I mean, that either means we're going to get, a new cool thing to buy with new cool tech and, a bunch of neat new games, or I don't care about the tech and the games actually release also on Switch, because that's usually a thing that happens, and I get a bunch of new cool games from a Switch. So, either way, there's potential there. But I found the Switch, I mean, don't get me wrong, it does have a relatively strong, first-party lineup. A lot of people rave about it. I don't think it's as great as it has been. I think the GameCube or the N64 had stronger first-party lineups, honestly. But there's been some good games coming from Nintendo. But honestly, I think the main draw of the Switch is as a cheaper alternative to the Steam Deck. Because there's a lot of indie games on Switch, a lot of them, and they do get some pretty cheap discounts as well. I've bought games on Switch because they've just been way cheaper than they are on Steam, for example. Yeah, it's mostly I'll pick up games that I would rather play handheld, or at least don't feel the need to get as grittily invested in. I mean, something like this would probably work quite well on the Switch, in honesty. But, you know, I played a lot of like turn-based things and, you know, that sort of deal. A lot of Pokemon clones. But yeah, I picked a lot of stuff up for genuinely really, really good prices, which is surprising because when you look at like how Nintendo priced their games, it's incredibly sharp contrast to the deep discounts you get on third-party software on their hardware. Like, because I mean, like for example, I've wanted to pick up Mario Kart 8 Deluxe just for a bit of fun, you know. That game was a launch title on the Switch, I believe. It's been out like 8 years or something at this point. I mean, obviously it was a Wii U game before that, right? But the Switch version has been out for like 8 years at this point. It's still like £45. You still cannot get that game on the cheap. There's never any discounts or anything on it. It's like, you want this fun little Mario Kart game that you'll only play when you got mates around for just as like a fun little party game thing. You have to pay the cost of the next big AAA game for it. It seems silly. And don't get me wrong, I know a lot of work goes into games like that. Yeah, Mario Kart has very good graphics and has a lot of courses and a lot of characters and a lot of, you know, there's a lot of stuff to it, don't get me wrong, but at the end of the day, it is still a party game. It's not something I'm getting hyper invested into, you know what I mean? So I cannot justify that sort of price for it. It's the same with the Smash Bros DLC as well. I've got Smash Bros Ultimate, and I love it. I think it's a great game, really do, genuinely. I would still prefer something like Subspace Emissary-ish from Brawl over the World of Light, although World of Light was a more interesting single-player experience than they've done on most of the Smash games, so I'll give them that. But the DLC is so ridiculously priced, man. Is it just me? Is it just me who thinks that DLC is expensive as shit? Like, in the base game, you get 80 characters, I believe, or somewhere around that ballpark, might be like 78 or something. There's about 80 characters for the price of the game that you bought, which is like, again, £45 or whatever. The DLC, you get 5 more characters. Well, there's 2 DLCs, and they're each priced separately, right? And they're each 5 more characters, or I think 6 for one or 5 in the other, or something like that. And they're like £27 or something, and it's like, this is a lot for just 5, for like a little bolted on add-on. And I'm sure the characters are fun to play and everything, but like, there's not anyone I'm that hyped about. None of my most wanted Smash characters have appeared yet, honestly. So I don't actually I don't care that much. Not enough to spend like 50 odd quid on both DLCs. It's pretty gross. It's pretty gross. I mean, don't get me wrong, playing as Sephiroth would be relatively cool. Or Minecraft Steve, you know? There's some interesting stuff in that. I actually think the Arms character, I can't remember what she's called because I know nothing about Arms. I think she could be fun, like, to play in a Smash game. Having like the really long reach melee attacks and stuff, that could be an interesting concept, but yeah, I don't know. Give me Spyro or give me death, that's what I say. Now, as I say, old head, I can't help it. You give me some 90s nostalgia and I'll be all over it, but unfortunately, I never really played... I mean, I have played Banjo-Kazooie now, but I never played it as a kid, so I don't have the nostalgia factor for that, so... That one didn't really do it for me when they announced that fucker. They give me Spyro, give me Bomberman, give me Skull Kid. That's what I want in Smash. That's what I would love in Smash. Skull Kid from Majora's Mask. I know he only appeared in one Zelda game and everything, but like, he's such an iconic villain. And there's so much moveset potential there. And it's like one of Nintendo's flagship series, and like they've got like what 5, 6 characters in Smash, and half of them are just Link clones. It's like, give me something cool. Come on now, come on, please, I beg of you. I don't know. I could moan about Smash all day. I'm not even going to start talking about the Fire Emblem characters. It's not worth it. Okay, I will. I will start talking about the Fire Emblem characters. Look, here's my point on it. I don't care. You can add as many Fire Emblem characters as you like. They don't mean anything to me. I couldn't get into the games at all. They all kind of look like generic anime characters to me, but like, whatever, go nuts. I'll add as many of them as you like, but please, for the love of God, give them some moveset variation. Why are like 6 of them just Marth? They just all have the same special attacks. All of them. They're just dude with sword, big sword smash, sword parry, sword combo thing. Like, come on. If you're going to have this many fucking boring looking anime characters, at least make them play interestingly. Fucking hell, man. That's it. That's my rant. I'm done. But sometimes when I'm left to my own devices watching a shade slowly pace through an incredibly large world, then I need to... my mind will wander, and suddenly I'll be talking about shit that no one cares about, but I care about, and that's the important thing. Just while I'm here, by the way. Just while I'm here, was there anything we could dig out off in this direction? Either up here or down here? Or are they just dead ends? It just seems very weird to me that these two paths just go nowhere. Like, literally nowhere. Yeah, nothing there. And, drum roll. The suspense is killing me, honestly. Will the wonders never cease? Ah, it's nothing. Awesome. Okay, back to your trekking. Go. Walk. Let's take a walk. Look at him go. This is not a man who is ever particularly eager to reach his destination. He's one of those guys that if you're walking behind him on a narrow street, you will eventually end up just waiting for a break in the traffic and walking out into the road to get past him. Like, that's who this is. Zero self-awareness. He just slowly ambles up the road, just getting in everyone's way. He's that sort of guy, right? It's alright, I'll be old one day and I'll be doing the exact same thing. Just going for my morning shuffle down to the post office, Yeah, that is one of my big bugbears. Not that specifically, but just like people who are clearly retired and are clearly just like want to get out of the house and have a chat with a cashier or something. Like, I don't begrudge them that, but can you please stop doing it at lunchtime, or like at the time just after work finishes, or at the time just before work starts? Like, you've got the whole sort of work day that you can do that sort of thing. But if I'm trying to like get something done on my lunch break, or just pick up some food on my way home, I don't want to be stuck behind a little old lady telling her life story to a cashier or counting out the price of their shopping in pennies. Like, fuck off. Come on now. Have a little bit of respect for the people around you, And I've been the cashier who's had to deal with that as well, and Jesus Christ, like when I worked in a supermarket, I didn't do much till work. Like, I wasn't really equipped for it. I'm not exactly a social butterfly, And I always had other things I wanted to be getting on with, the shelves need stacking, or, need to do a stock count, or, whatever. There's a lorry just turned up and we need to get the stock off it, or, whatever needs doing. And I'll be sat there on a checkout just willing these people to hurry up. Just praying they just get on with their shit. Like, I'll scan all their items through and they'll sit there slowly packing it up, and there'll be a queue of 6 people behind them, tutting and sighing. And it's like, well, what the fuck am I meant to do about it? This person's taking 18 hours to put a tin of peas into a bag. Like, ugh. God, I don't think I could work retail again, man. I don't think I could do it. I've escaped that world now, and I think at this point I would rather just die than go back to working retail. Rather just, stop eating. Live on the street, Seems preferable. So it's a nightmare, honestly. Like, I love my job, and I think I have had to get a certain degree of qualification in order to be good enough at my job to do my job. I'm not sort of trying to say, office jobs can't be difficult. But the fact that I am paid like double what I used to get when working at a supermarket, when in that place I worked longer hours, I did my backing, grafting my arse off, I had to have, a wide array of skills, but physical, manual labour skills, mathematical skills, like social skills, all of that were all part of the package. Like, working in a supermarket is a much harder job than what I do now. Much harder job. I say I program for a living. It's not difficult. Obviously, there are stakes on that, and you have to make sure you code well, and you're not causing issues for the product and everything. But like, it's not a hard job. Certainly not compared to what I've done in the past. Not even close. No, honestly, if I had my way, supermarket employees would be paid like fucking CEOs. They'd be taking at least 50k home. At least 50k home. Because that job sucks shit. And hey, if they paid that much, then they'd have their pick, right? Yeah, you get some shitty supermarket employees who don't pull their weight. You can fire them. They're not worth 50k. Get some good people in. It will attract good people, What's the old terminology? Pay peanuts, get monkeys. See what I mean? But, no, unfortunately the world doesn't work like that. There is no... What's this door I'm walking past now? I'm sure it's something I've been in before. Are there multiple entries to this hallway? I guess there must be. I won't think about it too much. I doubt a new door has just spawned. That seems unlikely. Without any sort of visual indication of that happening. Yeah, as I say, the dirty jobs just do not pay enough as far as I'm concerned. It's like the people most fundamental and essential to society are the ones paid the least, and that just seems a bit ass backwards to me. Right? I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm sure, there are some, like, for example, farmers. Farmers make a lot of money. Farmers are all rich Tories, like, I don't think they're struggling particularly. Although, to be fair, it sounds like Brexit has caused a lot of trouble for them lately, but, let's not get too political on it. But, a lot of these essential workers are seen as doing menial labour or whatever, and I don't think that means what people think it means. Like, I don't think the CEO of Tesco could work a shift at Tesco. I really don't. Not well, anyway. I think it should be like, you know, I'm anti-conscription or whatever, but I think it should actually be like rule, like almost like a community service thing, that everyone, you know, fucking Boris Johnson, you know, no matter how rich, how powerful you are, I think everyone should have to do like at least 2 to 3 years in a sort of minimum wage stuff. Not necessarily retail, but just some sort of like grafty minimum wage job. Everyone. Regardless who you are. Because then I think, you know, if you've lived with that experience, you're less likely to be shitty to people who are currently living with that experience, right? Seems to me. Don't get me wrong, people are always assholes, but if you can relate to something, it's likely to take the edge off a little bit. I mean, you know, going back to my time in retail, the amount of shitty ass customers who would get like personally insulting and borderline like abusive over the fact that something that is completely out of your hands as a supermarket employee isn't to their liking. It's just fucking disgusting. It really is. Like, there's no excuse for that shit. Absolutely no excuse for that shit. These people are, you know, working their, well, a lot of them anyway. As I say, there are exceptions, but a lot of these people work their dicks off, and then, you know, customers come in and start screaming at them because you don't have the right brand of butter or whatever, and it's like, for fuck's sake, man. Is this all you have in your life? is getting the specific brand of butter that important to you that you have to have a fucking meltdown about it in public? Like, surely there's something out there that's you could be spending your time on other than this. How far into here do we normally have to walk before we find something? I'm wondering how many limitations there are on stuff you get in here. I don't know if there's going to keep spawning things throughout the game, or if it's like a... Okay, we got paper. That makes me think probably nothing more interesting than paper. Probably just paper in here, I imagine. But we'll keep going. Got like 10-15 minutes of this video left, so might as well see what we can get. Oh, I'm actually very low on paper as well. Good thing I came here, actually. There hasn't been anywhere else we can source paper, has there? It's like only come from here, so if you want to keep doing drawings, it definitely pays to keep coming back here occasionally. Because even though time freezes while you're in here, drawings do slightly speed time up while you're in the house. So I think it pays off in the long run. Oh, that is a book. That is not paper, that is a book. Not read any of those in a while because I've been too busy digging, but very cool nonetheless. Nice to have more material. I will eventually let him read again, I swear. I will be nice to him eventually. I need to get that house dug out. Okay. For some reason I was thinking that, like, if I'm finding paper, then that means there's nothing interesting spawning in here. Like, paper would just, like, spawn as a substitute for something better, but it probably is just a list, isn't it? Like, every X amount of time, the next item in the list will spawn in this zone. For example, this very nice rug I've just found. Obviously, if I was coming back here regularly, they would always just be right at the entrance, but because there's a backlog now, they're getting pushed deeper and deeper into the area, which is a little bit awkward, but it's fine. The worst part about this is that you then have to walk all the way back again. Like, I don't mind walking in here as long as I keep finding things, because it's like, oh, look, an exciting new thing I found. But then once I reach the end, I then have to walk all the way back again. And it's like, well, now it's just boring, isn't it? A little bit underwhelming at this point. Another sheet of paper though. Found another sheet of paper, that's pretty exciting. Don't know why I said that in that tone. As I say, I do actually need more paper. Running at a bit of a paper deficit at the moment, so nice to stock up. Anything else? Anything at all? Another piece of paper! Well, the wonders never cease. Oh, glory, glory be. I assume the game wouldn't be nice enough that if I were to just grab the first thing, then run out and run back in again, they wouldn't all shuffle down. I don't know if that would be quicker anyway, to be honest, doing it that way, but... I do that a lot, don't I? I mentioned that in the Dredge video yesterday. I quite often just end a sentence with but. It's an implied continuation, right? I will say one thing and then be like, or the contrary. Yay. You know, I'm gonna be really generous. I don't do a lot of fast forwarding in this game because I feel like that defeats the purpose of it, but I will fast forward the walk back through the void at least. Once I'm done collecting all this shit. And I hope you realise how much work that is for me. I hope you realise how much extra editing has to go in to hey, another rug. To fast forwarding shit like that. It's a bit. It's like a few minutes of my time. I hope you realise the great sacrifices I make for the art form. The art form of Let's Plays. Thank you. Yeah, this has been quite a bountiful harvest, I'm not going to lie, but holy shit, it's a long way to walk. At least we can make him auto walk out again. I do wonder if we can just like bookmark like deep into this area so that he can auto walk his way through here as well. Obviously he wouldn't pick things up doing that, but it's a possibility. It's a possibility. Is this it? Have we got everything? Seems like we've been walking a little while since the last one. Doesn't he normally say something though to indicate there's nothing else to find? Isn't that normally a thing he does? Don't have to walk a certain amount of distance after the last item before he says that. It's feeling increasingly like there's nothing else though to me. Oh, for fuck's sake. No such luck. There's always more stuff. Has it really been this long since I last came here? It doesn't seem like that long ago that I last stopped in here. Because I came in and got the horse and the whatever else I got. The curtains. But then I feel like I've been back again since, right? And there wasn't much here at the time. Maybe that was pretty quickly after the horse, and then it's been like a few weeks since then, possibly? I don't know. I lose track of time. particularly in this game. Like, I don't have the best timekeeping anyway, but this is a game that really does just make everything sort of run together a little bit, you know? Another book? Okay. Alright, don't mind if I do. The old bookshelf's getting quite rammed at the moment, I think. Don't know if we're going to have much space left. Don't know how many books there are in this game. We got a lot of them from the library. Like 15, 20 of them came from the library. No, not 20, I don't think. Probably about 15, though. But the bookshelf doesn't hold that much. I feel like it's probably only about 30 in the game, if I'm honest. I feel like most of the remaining ones are probably going to be in here. You're enjoying the ambience? Are the vibes immaculate? That's probably not even something Gen Z say anymore, is it? I'm probably like 10 years behind on my lingo at this point. What's that term I keep saying? Yapping. People keep saying yapping now. Like, bro is yapping. Like, to sort of insult people for talking too much, I guess. But, like, I don't know. That just sort of ties into the sort of shortened attention span. Like, I'm not pointing it... Okay, that seems like we're done. I'm not pointing at Gen Z specifically for this, but just, like, everyone as a whole these days, thanks to the prevalence of social media and smartphones and all that, you know, short form video content and all that. It does seem like there is a sort of disdain almost for more long-winded explanations for things, for people wanting to like go into detail about things they're passionate about, which I don't think is fair, right? Like, if someone's that invested in something, then hear them out, you know? Anyway, we are going to fast forward through this walk back because it's going to be a long one, like 10 odd minutes, I think, at this point. So, I will see you back at the house, I think. Yeah. And we're finally back. Oh, look at my nice collection of rugs on the floor. Right, okay, let's get a drawing done, get in mining and call it a wrap-up. Even by this game's standards, today has been an awful lot of just walking. Just walking. I don't know what I want to draw. What do I want to draw? Yeah. Just a simple picture of the stars, I think. Nothing too flashy today, because it's not been a particularly flashy video. I did like the thing where we jumped on the mushroom though. That was pretty cool. Enjoyed jumping on the mushroom big style. And getting 2 new rugs for the house. That was all pretty great. But, there we go. Okay, well, thank you for that. Stomaching all that walking today. Listening to me ramble. More of this soon-ish, I have no doubt. We will probably leave him digging and call it a day there. But next time, I am praying we finally get this extension built. And we can look into other potential projects we can work on. Anyway, that's it for now. I'll see you. Bye.